Now on to the doll. The dolls. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Monster High doll review, and this time we are going to be reviewing the Skullector Tim Burton's Corpse Bride Emily doll. Yay! Finally, right? Because I know a lot of people have been waiting for Monster High to get on the Corpse Bride train and get that copyright IP address available for them to do something with. So I know a lot of collectors are ready for this and have been waiting for this. But we are going to go over this doll in just a few seconds. But before we do, I want to take a moment to thank all of my current subscribers for tuning into my channel, whether it be the gameplay or collection reviews. Thank you so much. And if you are new here and you like the collection or the gameplays, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button, or even if you're just enjoying the vibes, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. Now, Tim Burton is probably one of the best slow motion pictures? Claymation. Like slow motion claymation. You guys know what I'm trying to say. One of the most iconic, Tim Burton when it comes to Corpse Bride. What's A Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just so many really great movies that Tim Burton has come up with and worked on. Now, before we get more into the doll, I do want to take a moment to take a quick review on this box. I'm not going to give you B film on the box, but I will on the Corpse Bride. I know I didn't do it with the Elvira doll, but I was in a rush on that one, okay? But the box here, it is so good. We have the Corpse Bride logo here. We have Emily in a full-blown gloss-like texture on the side. And then we have a very faint dead Emily in the back. It kind of, is this like the sketch work before the whole movie came out? Maybe it looks like it. But anyways, on the side we have the prototype here, and then on the back we have the above ground and then the underground dead world that you get in the movie with the prototype here, which I think is a good little. It looks like a copy and paste that she's not supposed to be here, but I think it's because they glossed her up and made it a standout. But overall, it's a cute idea. I just wish she kind of didn't seem like she was just placed there. The other side is the other half of her face from the front of the box. And then we get the Corpse Bride logo. It does open up in like a window door. I don't know, those sliding doors. But on the inside, you get this beautiful church scene that you see in the movie and all the butterflies. I'm assuming they're butterflies, right? In the movie, they were butterflies, or were they moths? I think they were butterflies. When Emily kind of goes off and is at peace, she turns into these beautiful butterflies and flies away. One side, we get Emily with the prototype. I don't know why they did a small version here. I kind of wish it was just this big version. And it just feels like they just placed it here to fill in the dark spot here. But anyways, I digress. The other side is Emily prototype there too. And then on the back, you get a description here. If you want to pause and read, you may. And that is essentially the box. It does come with a dust cover on top. I decided to leave that out for this review because I didn't want to struggle taking it off and putting it back on. I'll put it back on offline. Now, we're going to get into the doll now. So the doll herself, you know what? Scratch that. We're going to talk about the card. Really quick though, I love how Monster High does their Skullectors in this nice thick cardboard design, and you get the foil, and on the back you get Mattel Creation Certificate of Authenticity. Now the Elvira one I didn't get to talk about either. It did not come with this kind of thicker card. It came in a thinner one, which made me worry about this one. It really did, but I'm glad that they went back to this if that was the case. Now, they did give Emily that new stand And this new stand that they're doing, I don't know how I feel about it because I don't really care for saddle stands. But they gave them some thigh huggers, which keeps them on from rocking a little bit. But I prefer the hip huggers the best. Now on to the doll. The dolls. Starting with the shoes, as always. So the shoes, we have an open-toed shoe here. And on the front of the shoe, you get the flower, and you get some beaded kind of texture here with Emily. And I like the kind of dangling jewels. And then you turn it around, and you get these nice embossed designs with that kind of loop-de-loop design. You get the object heels. I know a lot of y'all don't like them, but I'm kind of a fan of them. I like how it interprets the movie into the doll. You get the skull dog on one, and then you get that tree on the other. As you can tell, the shoe is not a solid black, but it is a pearlescent kind of blue color, which I really like there. And they didn't just make it all a black shoe. She does come with one kind of sock. It is a see-through sheer sock, which I'm not mad at. It kind of ties in everything in the whole asymmetrical kind of look for this doll, especially with her being a dead doll. Her leg, one is like a zombie-ish color doll texture, and then the other one is an exposed skeleton, giving her that dead zombie look. And her dress is all one piece, but it does come in 3 layers here. You get a dark blue sheer fabric, you get a light blue sheer fabric, and then you get this top stretchy netted fabric. And I love at the bottom of these, it's tapered, kind of giving that distressed look for her coming out of the grave, being dead. That is. And then I like the spider web effect on the outside dress part. She does have a skirted caged plastic-y dress. It is very flimsy, opposed to some of the other Monster High caged accessories. I'm not too sure if they wanted to give that flimsy look. I personally like it because it gives that like rooted sensitivity that roots have, but it also has, it kind of gives like a vine effect, but I like to think of it as roots. It has spiky stuff on it, but to me, I feel like I'm gonna pretend it's roots, if it is roots, because of the tree, when he puts the ring kind of on the twig. And I like the incorporation of the butterfly and that they painted it a blue color, so it's a standout piece. And I like the little hints of the butterfly molded into this as well. The top part of the dress is a continuation of those 3 layers just sewn together, and then at the top you get this frill blue, and then they exposed her, and I love that. I love that detail that they exposed her bones right there at her ribs. It really is a standout feature in my opinion. And then I love the asymmetrical here with the hands, kind of to represent the movie. One arm, the opposite from her leg, is I want to say flesh, but it's really not flesh because she's dead. But you guys know what I mean. Rotted flesh, maybe, because you know how like when somebody passes away, they're supposed to go blue. So I think that's kind of what they did. It's like with the movie. And then with her skeletal piece, we have a skeletal of her hands, and then they gave her the same kind of fabric with her sleeve that is on her shoe. And then her hand, she has a ring. It is on her middle finger though. And that's essentially all of her dress. Let's look at her face now. She didn't come with accessories either, which is strange to me, but we'll get into that at the end when I do my rating. Her face, oh my goodness. So Monster High, you never seem to fail on faces, which I really appreciate. Her face print job is great. Her lip color, her eyeshadows. She's looking to the left, which I really like. Left, right? Right. She's looking to the right. I was looking at the camera, but in the camera it looks like she's looking to the left. Wait. Yeah, because I'm facing the... You know what? Don't mind me, you guys. I like that the earrings are not like an earring. It's Maggot from the movie too, which I really thought was a great idea to incorporate this character. And this character is a standout character in the movie. I like the open cheek here, showing the teeth. That's a really neat idea too. I wonder if they went back and they're like, let's try to do this with the face, but it may have been a little bit more challenging to where they just decided to do a print, or to also save costs. You never know. I do kind of like the prototype eyeshadow a little bit more. It kind of gives more of a blended pinky coming out, as opposed to a hard stop with this makeup that was printed on. But I think that was the best they could do with maybe like a factory doll. But other than that, I think it's pretty close to that. And that's her face. Let's take a look at her accessories here with her crown piece. Now, this isn't exactly movie accurate. However, you do get the roses on her crown there. And then they incorporated the butterflies, which I really do like that Mattel Monster High did. And then they have like a spider web that's molded here on top. And it's the same kind of plastic that the skirt is here. She does have a veil. The veil goes all the way down, even longer than the dress. And I love the tapered, ooey gooey vibes here, kind of giving like a ghosty feel. And it kind of incorporates with the movie, how she moved through. That's how I'm taking it. And lastly, her hair. Let's flip that back. Her hair is this nice blue color. I love the length of her hair. I love the curls here. It does have some box hair, which, I mean, a lot of the dolls do come with box hair, but it's pretty good for coming out of the box, I think. And that is really all of this Emily doll. Now let me put her back on her stand and I will give you my overall ranking. Okay, so my overall ranking of this doll retailed at $71 on Mattel Creations, and then I believe Target had her for $64, and then Amazon I think had her for $71 as well, and Walmart had her for $64, which I don't know why the difference in price, but normally these dolls are $65, I believe. I'm not too sure why it increased on Mattel Creations. It's probably due to the tariffs situation that happened. And then Mattel also increased their shipping price. It used to be $5.99 or $6.99. Now it's like $8.99. So I'm like, I did get this doll from Walmart. So thank you for shipping her to me fast, Walmart. I never really buy Walmart, so I'm glad I did get her. Target sold out fast, which that was my first trying to like go to, and then Amazon was like my backup. I pre-ordered her there, but it seemed like most of Amazon orders weren't coming out till September 2nd. But anyways, I digress. My ranking of this doll with the price into consideration, I would probably give it a 8 out of 10. Why not? An 8 out of 10, same as Elvira. I think, you know, the price increase, there's gonna be inflation as the time goes on. So I expect dolls to increase, especially collector dolls. I mean, that's what happened to Disney. So I'm not gonna be surprised when Monster High decides to go up to $100 for this doll. For a doll like this, I can see that happening in the future, maybe 2 years, 3 years from now, just because of inflation. That's just how the world is gonna work. But I do give this doll an 8 out of 10. I do wish that she did come with another accessory, maybe a handbag, maybe if this dog was a pet with her. I mean, I thought that would have been a good choice here. I do wish that it was a double doll set, and I would have paid, you know, that $125, I believe that they do. No, because Hocus Pocus was $125 and it came with 3 dolls, right? So maybe, I don't know. I'm just thinking too much right now. But I give this doll an 8 out of 10. I think it is well made. I love the innovative idea with the mold of this doll and the skeletal pieces. I think they did a really great job. It doesn't look super close to the character, but I do get the vibe of Emily. Anyways, that is my review of Emily Corpse Bride Monster High doll. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you are able to get her. I feel like Mattel Monster High did make plentiful of them if you were wanting to get her. I believe she's sold out now on all retail stores. So just keep an eye out and see if she comes back if you were interested in this doll. But thank you all for coming in. And as always, stay kind to yourself as well as to others. Simply Rye.